So I'm back for my holidays, so it's Tuesday. I'm back work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But one thing I want to get done today is I want to get some giant tomatoes planted in that middle bed in the polytunnel now that it's prepped. I do need to get the black and white plastic put onto it, but that's going to be a quick task I can get sorted when I'm down at the plot. But in the meantime, I need to get these tomatoes taken down to the allotment. So let's get cracking down there. Also, just looking at the shed here, it looks like the cucumbers are ready to go. I've lifted this one out just before there. As you can see, look at the roots on that. Fantastic. So I might be able to actually get everything put in actually. I'm going to have a quick look and see when I got the cucumbers planted out last year. These ones are my heavy ones. These ones are the common cucumbers. So it looks like I'm going to be taking more plants down than I originally thought. Right, so there's the cucumbers. I've also got the tomatoes here as well, which are looking really good. Now, I had a look yesterday to see what date I actually put my giant cucumbers out in this tunnel, and it was actually the 7th of the 6th. And guess what date it is today? That's right, 7th of the 6th. It's almost like I timed this and planned it perfect, isn't it? So, I've got all my cucumbers, I've got all my tomatoes. I need to get the black and white plastic down here, and then I can get started planted out. The only thing I'm missing, again, is compost. So I will be planting out the tomatoes today and seeing if I can get some, bring some compost from home or something like that, just to do the bucket. So I'm going to need at least, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I need at least 2 bags of compost just to fill the pots up. So let's see how I get on anyways. Now the reason why I use this black and white plastic is it's a good weed suppressant. It also maintains the moisture in the beds when watered as well. I've got the soaker hose underneath so I can soak in water from below without getting the plants wet on the top. It is also really good for the white on the top to reflect the light back up onto the plants as well, and it just helps within the growth. Right, that's them all done. They're all measured out on the outside, as you can see there. Same with here as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut these ones out, cut the holes out, plant the buckets into the ground about a quarter of the way, and then they're ready for planting out with the cucumbers. In the middle, I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to basically put the plant out first, push the bucket around it, and then as the tomato grows, what I'll do is I'll just top the compost inside the bucket, and that's that done as well. So first things first, let's get all of these holes cut, and then we'll plant the tomatoes out. Now I'm only using these buckets because they worked well last year, and it's like acting like collars. So these are going to be cucumbers. That's obviously on the outsides, and the tomatoes are going to be on the inside bed there. For the cucumbers, I like the water from below, hence the reason why I've got soaker hoses underneath, and I like to feed from the top, so we don't want to keep the top damp and moist because cucumbers don't like it. When it comes to the tomatoes in the middle there, the reason why I'm putting the pots in is because I want to plant the tomatoes so far in and then put some compost in to fill the bucket up as the tomato grows, because what that'll do is it'll promote more root growth from the stem, and it'll mean that it can take in more food and more water as well to help the plant grow. There we go. All sorted out. I've got one bucket that I need to cut the hole out the bottom of. Still, because it's it looks like that. That was my first attempt. Keep a bit of strength, but what I need to do is basically just cut here and make sure that I've got the whole bottom off, because what I want is I want the roots to come out the bottom of here, not just out of this little bit, but the whole bottom of it. So I've got one more then to cut, so I'll find my saw and I'll get that cut, and I'll do the one right at the back up there. But other than that, it's time to get these tomatoes planted out, and for that I'm going to need some canes, so I'll be right back. Right, I've got 12 tomatoes here, giant tomatoes, and I've got 10 spacers. So what I'm going to do is 2 of them, which is probably going to be from Big Zack. I might lose one Big Zack, and I might lose one. Trying to see which one looks a bit weaker than the rest, but they all look pretty strong, to be honest. I'll lose 2 anyways, and I'll put them in here. So I'll let you set back up, and I'll get these put in now. There we go, 10 heavy tomatoes as planned, 3 different varieties. I've got Peter Glazebrook heavy tomatoes, I've got 3 of them in. I've got 3 Leach heavy, 5.61 kilo, and I've also got some Delicious from Douglas. So thank you very much. And I think I've got 2 Big Zack. So I've got a mixture of different ones there, so I should have a good variety altogether. I want to place these cucumbers out. I want to get mine 9 in, so I'll probably just do mine 9. So I've got 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the 5 on this side can be other varieties. So I'm just going to get them placed out in a minute. I've got 3 spare heavy tomatoes, which I'll probably give to the granddad and see if he wants to have a play or not with them as well. So I get asked quite a lot, what do I feed the giants and obviously other stuff as well. To be honest, I don't feed them any differently than I would normal plants. So for example, the tomatoes, I'll be using my own comfrey tea. Now if you don't know what comfrey is, let me show you. This here is a comfrey plant. Now I've let it flower because the bees love it. Look at them. Look at all the bees there, look at that. Great timing. There's absolutely loads of bees. They absolutely adore the purple plants, purple flowers. But what I'm after is I'm after the leaves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some gloves on and I'll show you what I do with them. So what I've got a handful here. Obviously I'm going to get some more. And all I do is get a barrel full of water. Now this is from last year. What I want to do is top this up so it's concentrated a bit more. So in here is concentrated comfrey tea. Now, if a lot of you follow Dean Roberts, you'll know what his reaction is like when it comes to comfrey or nettle tea, should I say. This is pretty much the same effect, but after a little while, this no longer smells. So, what I'll do is I'm going to take all of that and plant. I'm going to basically put it all in here, let it ferment, let it break down, and then in a couple of weeks' time, this should be concentrated comfrey tea. And then what the mixture ratio is, it's 10 to 1. So 1 pot comfrey tea, 10 pots water, and I'll give the tomatoes and everything a feed because it's good for leafy plants. So that's exactly how I sort out and feed the plants. Other than that, it's just mainly water. Right, I'm going to get this sorted now. Just very quickly, I'll show you how things have went over the last week in here. So I've left the tap on. As you can see, my pond started coming through, so I have to be careful I'm standing. These kohlrabi are huge. They're massive on the inside here. So I've got, what's this? This is a 2 litre pot for it. There's a 2 litre pot. It's nearly as big as a 2 litre pot, which, if I turn the camera on, for example, so that's pretty much nearly the same size as my head, which is absolutely fantastic. I've got one that looks like it's smaller than the rest. I might pull that out again like I did the last time round. In fact, I'll pull that out now, and then it's got space to breathe. I'll show you what I'm on about. It's that one there. So that one there, as you can see, it's not as big as the one next to it, not as big as the other one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be strict. I'm going to pull it out, give everything else a chance like I've done before. I'll put that in the compost heap, and there we go. We've got a bit of space to manoeuvre there. That one and that one can now breathe. Coming down a bit farther, might be doing the same with that one, so that this one can breathe next to it, and that one's just going nuts by itself. That beetroot's probably going to get swamped, but them two are doing all right. Like I say, everything else has had a good drink. These have getting a little bit bigger, not as big as others, but these were put in late, if you remember correctly. So, and these spaces here are for the mooly radish. I've got 3 of them to put in, and we'll just see how they take off. In the middle greenhouse, the giant onions, to be honest, I think I'm going to lose them. They're tipping really badly. Now I know sometimes they do tip, but not as much as this. It'll be a shame, but it is what it is. But as you can see here, so far it's tipped over there on that side. It tells me that there's a problem underneath somewhere. And if I feel underneath on this side, it feels a bit soft. So I'm probably going to end up losing that one, and also that one there as well. But time will tell. Morning everybody, it is Saturday morning and I am on gardening leave. So anyways, I'm not going to batter on about work. I had my last shift yesterday. It was really good. I enjoyed it. It was sad to say goodbye, but new beginnings, new journeys, new starts, and all that kind of thing is what Dave says. So I've been down to the plot. I've been down to the allotment hut this morning and picked some compost up. So I've got plenty of compost to get on with what I need to get done. Oh, there's a beautiful butterfly just flew in there. Not say it's 20 backwards. So anyways, I've picked a load of compost up. I'm ready to pot out the last of the onions. I've got some tomatoes that need potting up. I've got me long runner beans that I've given some to Grandad to put in his plot. I keep an eye on, and I've got some for me to put in just where I can. I will be basically maintaining and focus on getting the garden in some form of decent preparation, get all of the stuff in, and then I can just tidy up and just maintain and monitor. Grandad's been down to Wilco's and picked us a couple of more hooks up so I can put them into the polytunnel, so I'll do that today as well. But first things first, let's get everything potted up in the polytunnel, so let's go through there. Let's get the compost up. Oh my gear, I've got everything that I need. These onions should have been potted out weeks ago, but as you know, I've been very busy, what with work and not being able to get compost, so they've been stuck in this 5 litre pot and they're desperate to be potted up, so I'm going to get them all potted up into these 30 litre buckets here as well now. I might not fill them right to the top of the 30 litres, I might just only do 20 and leave a little bit at the top just to see how they get on in a 20 litre pot. So enough yapping, let's get sorted out. That's them done. I've staked this giant tomato in the used compost, which I've just put some manure pellets in and some other good feeds. The onions, I've stick these two up. They look alright. Like I say, they're in 30 litre buckets. I'm spreading them out so that the middles can come through. But I have noticed that on these ones here, there is some signs of thrip. So obviously I've got that stuff from Moonshine. So I'm going to mix them up. I'm going to spray these and hopefully it'll kill what's in there and obviously be preventative to everything else. Everything else in here from what I potted up to a couple of days ago, looks like it's, to be honest, looks like it's taken all right. There's nothing, nothing died back, nothing, everything looks healthy. Tomatoes are flying up as well. I'll just put some remnants of compost that I had left in the buckets. I can't remember if I told you that day or not when I was in here. I've actually topped some of these buckets up with what compost I had left. So that's what the plan was originally anyways, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill these right up to here. The first truss is probably going to be about here on the tomato, and then the second truss will probably be about here. The planting itself will only be about this high in total, because I'll nip the top off because I only want the first 2 trusses. I don't want anything else, and then we'll play with from there and see what happens. I do need to get around the sides and around the back. I don't want to do it, but it needs to be done because it is blocking the light. So that'll be the next task I get done. So I'm going to put my hoodie on so I can get my long sleeve on, and then get in there and get all that clear out. So I'll show you what it's like afterwards, because it'll be a ball ache to put the camera and stuff on. Just before I do that, I've just come at the top greenhouse here, and I've just seen that I've still got three giant onions left. What I'm going to do is, I've already given Grandad 3. I'm going to put these in 10 litre pots and just see what the size difference will be between the 20 litre and the 10 litre, and just see as a kind of little experiment sort of thing. So these are all at the same stage in the 5 litre pots. So we'll this one doesn't look too clever, to be honest, but I'll put it in. While I'm in here, let me just show you what's happening in here, because things are flying. We've got the giant cauliflower, which will be getting put out today, so I'll plant that out. I need 4 of them, and I've got 2, 4, 6 all together. Once again, I'll give the spares to Grandad. And I've got all my valley cauliflower in here, so I'll be putting them into the beds as well, and hopefully getting them covered up. These Sungold tomatoes, I do like my Sungold, as you know, are flying in 3 litre pots. They've got the first trusses on, as you can see. These will be going into 10 litre buckets as well today, as long as I can get my finger pulled out. And just down here, as you can see, we've got radish. So these are my mooly radish. They're the what's that say? The Sakurajima radish, world record variety. So I've got a few of them, and I've got a few of the other ones as well. I've only got enough space for a couple, 3 spaces I think. So I'll just put them into the giant house once they're done. Whatever I've got left, I'll see if I can find space for. But it's nice to see a bit of greenery in the greenhouse, isn't it? You know what it is? I leave my door open for 1 second. 1 second. Look what I see. Bloody butterfly. See if we wait for it to stop. You can see the black on it. Black and orange. Please, it's not a cabbage, right? But I still don't want this bloody thing in here. So I'm going to see if I try and catch it and put it out. But it is a bonny butterfly, like. Yeah, that's that done as well. Means I'm getting all the way around there. Hands are stinging, but I'm getting all of that clear. In hindsight, putting that pear tree there probably wasn't the best of ideas. I will probably end up having to lift that out and put it in a bucket. But I'm not lifting it now. Let's have a look on the inside and see what difference that's made. So now looking from inside out, you can see there's nothing casting a shadow on the outside. And we should be able to get all the plants should be able to get plenty of sunshine, which is obviously what they need to grow. So I've got to think ahead as well, because like I say, these plants here did better than those plants on the side, so I need to make sure that obviously everything up here is taken down so that the sun can get everything. But aye, not too bad. I've also found another 2 30 litre buckets, so I've got 2 more tomatoes giant tomatoes, which I'm going to pop into them 20-litre buckets, or 30-litre buckets, and put, once again, 20 litres of compost in. I'm pleased I bought them extra 2 bags of compost. I've done these buckets a little bit differently. Grandad Dave's had some fresh cow manure. Not fresh, it's obviously rotted down, but it's good black stuff, black gold basically. And what he does on his normal tomatoes, in these 10-litre buckets, he normally puts about that much in the bottom of manure and then fills it about there with compost. So there's only about 5 litres of compost, and he gets a good 4 or 5 trusses on his tomatoes. So I'm going to follow suit. In here at the bottom I've got about that much of compost. There's probably about 10 litres of cow manure, sorry, and the rest I've filled up with the compost, the Clover Professional bedding. And all I'm going to do is, I've got my pots here, my tomato plant here, my giant tomato. This is a PG, Peter Glazebrook tomato, where it's looking nice and strong, for me anyways. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to plant this to about there, halfway up. Because as you know with tomatoes, all these little fibrous hairs, you can turn into roots, taking them more plants, taking them more water, more nutrients, more feed. And at the bottom here, with all the roots are, they'll be able to get straight access to that manure. And that's a plan anyways, get them away. So what I'm going to do is, using my hand, I normally have a bull planter, but my bull planter's broken, I need to get a new one, devastated. I'm going to get my hand in there, separate it out, check how deep it is, just like you would with any other thing, any other plant. That looks about right. Then I'll squeeze it, spin it upside down, do the old tippy tappies. There we go, we've got some good roots on there. Starting to fill the whole plant and bucket up, so we've got that at the right time. Stick that in, straight at the bottom, use the handles, give it a shake, job's a good one. Plant it in, push it down, fantastic, there we go. Another 2 tomato plants for the giant section. So that's taking me up to what? 3, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I remember I got 10 in there. So I've got 13 giant tomatoes, whereas last year I had 5. So I've doubled up production with them, and I've got them in the 30-litre buckets as well. I've actually just found another 3 30-litre buckets in here. I've got loads of them, I didn't realise I had this many. Just looking around and finding them. So I'll put the, I might put the other giant onions in there, I don't know, I'll have a look. But first things first, let's crack on with the list of jobs I've got to do. Let's get them giant cauliflowers out. Right, so I'm in the first Brassica cage, and obviously this is where the giant cabbage were that went to seed. So waste or whatnot, I will be putting the, let's say, the giant cauliflower. I've never grown these before, but they should be fine in here because it's the right same sort of soil. It's the same sort of prep work that need to be going for the brassicas anyways. So I've managed to find me bull planter, like a bull planter. It is broken, but it will be enough just to get these in, so I can get it sorted. I would normally put some lime in after I've planted up, but like I say, the ground is already prepared. So I'll pop them in pretty deep. I don't want it that deep, it's too deep. I want it so that I can secure the stem up. Just on the sides. This will thrive in here, I know it will. And once I've done that, what I'll do is I'll just put the tyre around like I did before. And the tyre will be the support. So I've got another 3 more of these to put in. Let's get it done. What I've also got, I've got a couple of long beans as well, which I've got 2 left because Grandad's put the rest in. I'm going to get these planted out into this bed here, just while I've got a bit of space there. So I need to get me full planter again. Just in this corner here, out of the way, protected. Hope my bulb planter's broken. Let's see, I need some new tools. Oh, what a nightmare. There's one. We've got some roots on there, champion. Right into there. Now what? There we go. That's one done. It's a bit unconventional, this. Bloody thing. Definitely not that new. Put it back. That's enough. For me, all this needs to do is just climb up the frame. That means I'm planted out. Long beans from Marshall. Oh, let's get a steak for there. But other than that, that's them done as well. Hey. So that's the giant cauliflower planted out. And also a couple of long beans as well. Happy days. You've got to be in it to win it. And at the minute, I'm in it. Once again, people will probably do better, but I don't care. As long as I beat my own personal best, I will be happy. So, very, very pleased with the bees are turning on, actually. Let's see, they're splitting and they're healing again. So, that's a good sign that they're healing. This one here is looking nice. I think this is where the one from last year thingy as well. But I need to be careful as well for how much stuff I give them. So, plenty of water at the minute. They've had enough water. I'll not be watering today. They've already been fed as well, and they've had some boron recently. So, yeah, they're coming along canny. And so will these be in a few weeks. I just need to keep them on top of the weeds. I'm going to get them weeds now as well, so that they don't get any bigger. Because, like I say, in the future, I'll not be here as often with us working away. Right, change of scenery in the top greenhouse here. I've got me radish, which I showed you before. I'm going to get these potted up into 2 litre pots. And then from the 2 litre pots, these will be getting taken down. A couple of them will be put, with all 3 of them, all of them actually, will be placed in the onion, the old onion house, the giant house, and that's where they'll be grown, so they can get used to the environment as well, because that's where they'll all be getting put in. I have left a couple for Grandad Dave if he wants them, so I'm going to get cracked on with me clover pot bedding, get these potted up. Right, time to give everything a drink. So, there's a lovely hot day of the day. In fact, what's the temperature of the day? Absolutely scorching the day. It is currently, in the greenhouse alone, it's 34.8 degrees, which is absolutely on fire. I definitely had to take that off. So, well, like I said, the other day, Paul from Moonshine sent us some goodies to continue using, because like I say, I have used this in the past. I've got a general around feed here. I've also got some Sunshine concentrate, which goes into the sprayer bottle. Obviously that's to help with the plants, like you would with like a seaweed feed. That'll help obviously the feed from the plants as well. And I believe that this is like, it's not a pesticide, but it's to help with the so it's to help with the pests. So I'm going to get that in a bottle as well and get that sprayed on them onions. But for the time being, I've stolen Nurofen sucker here, and what I'm going to do is, it's 1 ml per every. Always read the instructions. It's 1 ml per litre from seed to harvest. So I've got a 6 litre can here. There's 5. That's all I need. That's it. That's all I need. This will probably see us through a little while, this. So that's going to go on top of there. I'm going to give this a mix. Got a stick here which is clean. There's warm water inside of here as well. Give that a mix. And we'll go next to warm water. Another handy little feature I like on the back of these pots as well. If you want, we've got a QR code on here. Just make sure I get it on there. Go that way. I'll hold it in place there. If you get a camera on your smartphone and you scan that code, it'll take you to where you can actually buy the product. So there you go. See if you've managed to scan that. You can pause the video, of course, if you want to try and get it. But yeah, these need to be stored in a cool, dark place, so they'll be going in the shed. That's just been watered back there. I'm not watering the tomatoes yet, because I'm going to be potting them up. I'll do that now. Every time I get these tomatoes potted up, I'll tell you what, since I've potted them up into these 3 litres, they've went berserk, which is great. But it's time to get them put into the final pot, which will be the 10 litre here. So let's get that super speed action on, and let's get these potted up now. I'm getting 6 of them done. I've got another one to go. Now, I do like my Sungold tomatoes. I love just picking them off. They don't even go home. It's my snack when I'm coming out in the garden. It's like a little reward. So, a little top tip here. Now, I've got mine grown in 3 litre pots here. So, I went from, obviously, like this size pot to this size pot. Just because, obviously, I didn't have the compost. I couldn't put them straight into the 10 litre pots. But, it's worked out quite well, because when I'm calculating how much compost I need, I know exactly what's going in where. So this is a 10 litre pot. There's already 3 litres of compost in that pot there. So what I'm going to do is, what I have been doing is I know this is 1 litre, 3 litres of in the base. You see, you can use manure as well if you wish to. Get that a shake over and get me plant, my tomato plant, because obviously the tomato likes to be buried. Give it a squeeze. I'm being very gentle. Cardinal sin here. I'm lifting the plant out by the stem, popping it straight into the pot here, getting rid of all the top layer compost here and just putting it on the side. So I'm going to put fresh in around there, and then once that's done, maybe whatever is left in there. So there's 6 in there already. 7, 8, 9. What I'll do is I'll just shake it over to flatten it off. Then I'll put 1 more in over the top. Now another little tip as well, before I get to that point, is I've got a little side shoot here. You see that? Little side shoot coming up here. Now I'm going to keep that side shoot because I've only got 7 of these, so I want some more. I normally like to have about 10 to 15. So what I'll be doing is, there's a couple of little side shoots on here. I'll leave them to grow a little bit, and then when they're big enough, I'll take them off and I'll do the following. So I'll get a little pot. I'll just use this pot obviously. So a little pot, fill it up, compost, just keeping it loose. Okay, I'll go side to side, not back and forward, because if you go back and forward, you could get the flesh of obviously the vine, this main stem, and you could travel all the way up and cause damage. So I'll just go side to side, snap it off like so, and there's a little plant there. Now it doesn't look like nothing at the moment, but as a lot of keen gardeners know, all you need to do from there is either put it in water or put it in some compost, and there's a good chance that that will turn into another plant. And then what will happen is, because this is already established plant, this will be for later on, so it'll be a successional sowing. So top tip. I've already got 2 there already. Happy days. See how they come back. I've got 1 more to put in here before I forget. And then just to keep them supported till they get their feet bedded in. All I've got is just a cane, just for the time being. Just wrap that around. I can tie it on with the little ties. Oops, accident. That's all right though. I can tie that on with the likes of the green clips if I wanted to, or anything else that I've got. Like them little things I showed you the other day. And there we go, another plant done. What I like to do with that, just give it a drink with some Moonshine. Bed it in well, like you do with watering well, like you do with anything you've just watered. I'll put that in here. Job's a good one. And I'll get the other ones all watered as well. Happy days. Now, something else I need to quickly mention. I mentioned before about spraying. Now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to spray the leaf foliage when it's sunny. You want to realistically do it on an evening, so that and you need to be doing it till there's a bit of a runoff as well. Because if you leave it on, the likes of tomatoes and other stuff like that, if there's little droplets, what it'll do is it'll magnify the sun and it'll cause burn spots and little yellow spots on the plant leaf itself. And obviously that can damage the plant as well. So be careful when you are spraying, if you do decide to spray with anything, like for example tomatoes, like the comfrey, they like the feed, and also like the seaweed feed as well. And the seaweed, you can spray a bit of seaweed over the top and gives it obviously a bit of a boost. But obviously don't do it on a sunny day, direct sunlight. Do it when it's clouded over and there's no chance of sun, or later on in the evening. Right, time for a sit down because I'm knackered at the minute. Okay, so Granite Dave's just given us a good idea. Well, it was his idea anyways. So he's already told us this in the past as well. With these canes, especially when they're being eye level, you always want to be wary for your eyes. So whether you can put little pots or anything like that on top, it's the best way to do it. But also at the moment, I've got mine all on hooks at the top here. Now, when I push them down into the soil, they fall off. They're not quite long enough. So what Grandad said was, why don't you not just get some old garden hose, stick it over the top, which is what I've done. So I've cut about 12 inches. No, so it's about 4 inches of pipe there. I've cut enough to do all the way around the edges because the middle should be all right. If I need to cut any more, I've got some more, and just put it over the top there, stick it in the top. Job's a good one. Plus, it's not going to fall down and haunt my eye. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go around the rest of them, put them all on. But hey, thanks very much for the handy tip, Grandad. Fantastic. So they're all on there now, nice and secure. They're already going to come out. So giving it a good wobble. Whereas normally, if I had that off, put it on. Fantastic. It's even tight on the other side, which is great. That's definitely not going there. Definitely not going anywhere. Them. Mint. So I am pleased I'm getting all this planted out. It's all done, it's all prepped, it's all in. I've got 2 spaces down there for the 2 cucumbers at home. I've even managed to bag a couple of extra tomato spaces as well. I've gotten them onions put out, mint, and last but not least, I've got a couple more onions which I'm going to put out, but I'm going to do that tomorrow because, like I say, I'm pig sick now. I've had enough for the day. Underneath this mesh here, I've also popped out the rally cucumber, I've got cucumber on the brain, the rally cauliflower. I've got 12 in total, and I've got 2 of the spare giant ones which I'm putting on the outside. I will put something together for regards to cover for these, but for the meantime that's going to have to die until I come back to either tomorrow or do it in the middle of the week. But aye, that's them done as well. Right, thanks very much. Well, plans certainly changed. Hello, it's Sunday evening, so I thought I'd just sign off now because, to be quite honest, I never got a chance to do much today. I went to the pictures with the kids, and Leslie's been at work this afternoon, so we're going to have a nice meal tonight, and we're going to sit and relax, have a couple of drinks, and enjoy the rest of our Sunday evening before kids are back at school again next week. So I'm going to sign off the day. Like I say, just a quick look in here. I've got a few things to do in here. My marrows are ready to be taken out. I've got one there and another one across the other side, so I need to get that other side of the allotment sorted out so I can get these in ASAP. I've also got me giant parsnips, my giant carrots. I need to get them 2 beds sorted out. Lots of things still to do, which I'm sure you'll be able to see is get sorted out over the coming week to 2 weeks. But for me, this week, I've managed to get a lot done. I'm pleased about that. Hopefully I get that desire back again. I need that kick up the rear end. But for me, for this week, hope you enjoy this week's update. Catch you all next time. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you all then.